All right. We are back with another town hall. It is our 38th. I can't believe that I missed last week, but last week was a great town hall. We have some special guests on, and Alad simply just crushed it. And I just loved it. But I'm glad to be back. And as always, Alad, how has the week been, man?
Yeah, it was a great week. And yeah, you just mentioned last week. It was special for me because it was the first time that I led the town hall, and it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
So you're doing great job by doing that. It's not that easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had two amazing guests, Catherine and Suzanne. It was so inspiring, to hear them coming from
Mhm.
Brazil. And doing such a great job with creating content, and just sometimes it's very interesting to hear people that they are not like those with 1000, not 1000, sorry, 1 million followers. Like they're
Mhm.
really starting to grow, understand the way that they think, what they try to achieve, what make them motivated. I really like that, because someone with 1 million followers, yeah, I have a lot to learn from, of course.
Right.
But they're already there, like they done it, they have a lot of things they want to accomplish. But
Yeah.
hearing someone just starting to get some sort of momentum,
Mhm.
it's amazing. It feels like very equal to what we're doing in Evmux, right? We are feeling
Right.
the momentum coming. So it was great to talk to those two amazing ladies. And the week
Yeah.
was great, growing, doing a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and having you back. So that's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
How was your week, man?
The week was pretty good. A little bit of a different week than normal. Kind of a slight kind of honeymoon, a little step away to get a little refresh after being married, but missed it. And just kind of being back and kind of seeing it. I just you don't realize that like when you leave, you miss it, and then you still think about it, and it's just like while I'm there, just thinking about Evie Mux and just what we have going on. But then like looking at the town hall and saying, oh man, I wish I would have been there. That would have been a great conversation to be a part of. But overall, like you said, it was great to be able to see it. And it's just, again, right, we're not going to allow us to be able to stop ourselves from showing up every single week, because that's the biggest challenge, is just being consistent, right? And I think that's one of the things that they were saying was just like, they're just going to continue to create and figure out and keep going. And I think it's just that consistency creates that momentum, and eventually the results are going to catch up. So but overall, week was great. I'm happy to be back and to be here, energized, recharged for sure, to be able to go. And as always, we have some people here in the chat that always love seeing some new faces. We got Darius, we got Albert, we got Susan, we got Ram in the house, we got Tihano time, and it's always a pleasure. Says glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. We just had the hurricane last week. A lot, was there. Luckily I was away, but with the hurricane, everything was totally fine. House was fine. I know people whose house got destroyed, but for the most part, my family's okay. House is okay. We're intact. So just praying for the people who did get impacted by it. But I think a lot, you weren't affected by it as much either, right?
Yeah, fortunately, I live in kind of South Florida, but in the east part of it.
Mm,
So
right.
we were like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And luckily for us, it went, to another direction, more
Mm,
towards the west, and then crossed Florida, but from the north to us.
yeah.
So yeah, luckily it was just rainy a little bit, but
Hmm.
nothing major. Again, as you said, praying for the people that got
Right.
hurt from it. Wow, I
Yeah.
cannot think what will happen here, if it will come here, and it's all about luck, right? Nothing
Yeah.
you can do. It's
Right,
crazy.
100%, 100%. Yeah, it's been great. All the stores are still out of stock. You really can't go get anything yet. So that's kind of like the aftermath of it. But overall, everybody's safe. It says here, the ladies were excellent. Susan, you're glowing. I'm just recharged. I got energy. It's different when you're able to get that recharge for sure. So I'm super excited for today's town hall. Today we're gonna talk about animated lower thirds. I see that a lot of you already utilized it. We did a poll. Do you use lower thirds in your stream and recording? 80% of 92% of you said yes, you utilized it, right? So we just wanted today talk about it, dive a little bit deeper into it, showcase some of the flexibilities that you have with lower thirds, but also showcase how you can go ahead and input your own lower thirds. And we're also going to go ahead and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. Maybe we'll tease a little bit of an update that you may see in the editor now that you may not physically have seen, but it's super powerful, super powerful. Stick around for that. But before we dive into that a lot, why don't we talk a little bit about, lower thirds, right? Coming from the event space, coming around and having those kind of graphics that are available there. Why was lower thirds so important for us to have natively integrated inside of Evmux, not just from being able to customize it and do all kind of things, but also being able to upload your own? Why was that something that we here at Evmux decided to incorporate right out of the gate?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's sometimes people don't really get it, like why is it so important? But once you start creating content, you understand that's maybe the first thing important for you. You want your name to be positioned in a very nice way, and that's basically the number one, this and maybe background, okay? The
Right.
number one differentiator between something looks a bit professional to something looks very non-professional, right? Like have a nice lower third and not just a very small name like in Zoom. In Zoom, it's for meetings. It's nice. In meetings, you don't need your name to shine like this, but when you
Right.
are creating content, you do want it to be that way. And again, coming from the event space, it was the number one requirement from event producers, event planners, that we will provide them as the producers. They said, okay, we want the name of the speaker in a very nice way. And then some planners, they wanted it all the time there, like the show always. And some of them wanted it in and out in different occasions. And then for us, using other tools, it was, okay, you want it for what, like 1 minute and then out, or 5 minutes and then out, like what exactly you want. And then we saw that we need to do a lot of manual work to make it happen, like create different scenes with lower thirds, without lower thirds, play between the scenes. And I'm like, why is it so complicated? Why cannot it be like a component natively in the system that will allow you to play around with the configurations and allow you to do it animated or not animated? And then that's why we came up with lower thirds to bring something different than what you see, because in other tools you just have one or two options, so maybe a bit more, but not animated, just there all the time, and that's it. In other tools you don't have that, but you can upload whatever you would like. So you can upload a WebM file to be animated lower third, or just edit as another picture to the scene, and then it's just another layer. So in Evmux we have both. Like you can upload your own lower thirds as a picture, as a video, and also you have it natively in the system, and then you can control. We will show you now. I'm a fan of lower thirds. I think it makes a whole difference.
It really does change the way that your content actually looks. And even though we have like the animated lower thirds is going to be the the ones that you're seeing on the screen now with my name and Alad's name, like even the banners can be considered lower thirds as well, right? So you have the banners, you have the tickers, even comments on screen are kind of like lower thirds as well. We call them different things: comments, banners, tickers, but at the end of the day, these are elements that appear in the lower half of your screen, right? And of course,
that's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point, because when I started to produce and things like that, I was like lower thirds, like, I'm trying to understand the term, and then I understand, it's the lower third part of the screen. But then basically when we're saying lower thirds, what we mean a lot of times is the name of the person, right? Like it's on the lower third of the video feed of the person. This is where you put the lower third with the name. So just to make sure that people understand the terms here, people maybe not native speakers like me, sometimes it may confuse you. Lower thirds, it's like because it's on the lower third of the video feed of the person. And then, as Anthony said, we have more things that you can consider as lower thirds natively: banners, comments, all of them coming to the lower third part of the main screen. And also you have you can fully customize the pro scenes and put a lot of different layers,
Yep.
a lot of different components on the lower third of the screen or anywhere else on the screen, right?
Yeah, and I think that it goes beyond just that as well, and we'll see here in the video where we'll demo. And again, if it's your first time in the town hall, welcome. What we typically like to do is we like to talk a little bit about the topic that we're focusing on today. Then we like to demo what it is that we're going to show. So we're going to show you a demo of lower thirds and how they actually function, and then we dive into our favorite part of the town hall, which is Q&A. But feel free to ask questions throughout the whole town hall, whether it related to the topic or anything Evmux that you need help with, and then we come back and address them in the order that they were actually received. I saw that Trumpet Master joined us here shortly here in the basement with Next Steps as well. Joined us. Welcome, welcome. Really excited. And we have a question here from Albert that we can take just slightly now before we dive into the actual demo. And it says, can you use lower thirds and bring up comments with variable opacity and transparent background? So this has been asked before, but you can address it a lot.
Yeah, sure. So lower thirds, I don't think you can control the opacity of the lower third itself. With the banners, though, there are some themes that they have some opacity. Not all of them. Some of them, yes, some of them, no. For now, we don't allow a lot of flexibility for the banners. Like you can change the colors. You can change the theme between 5, if I'm not mistaken. Some of them with opacity, some of them without opacity. We decided to keep it that simple for now. With that said, if you go with ProScenes, you can create your own banners by just uploading a picture, and then the picture can be with. Then you can play around and make it with opacity and round corners and whatever. You can do a lot of stuff. So you basically can create a scene with this banner and then play again a scene without the banner to make it happen.
Yeah, and I know as well, people have asked as well in regards to the comments themselves, like how you brought that comment up with Albert, having the flexibility to be able to customize those and how they actually appear as well has been something that
so not
asked.
yet.
Yeah,
not yet, because again, we always between the balance of ease of use and robustness and things like that. For now, we decided banners, comments, and stuff like that to keep very, very simple.
Right.
It's not that we are not going to add more flexibility to it. We will. I don't know to tell you when. It's just a decision that we took for now to keep things simple.
Yeah, and a lot of the things too, a lot of the banners and things that are there now are also going to be great to be able to utilize. I know my camera kind of maybe froze there for a second, but hopefully you can still hear my audio.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So we see it there. But the biggest thing with that is, like I said, we want to give you flexibility. We want to give you customizations, and we want to give you a lot of options. And you'll see here in the lower thirds, maybe you're not aware of all the different kind of animation styles that are already included in you. There's over 20 that are available for you that can be mixed and matched between different lower thirds. So I think this is a great opportunity to be able to demo the video to show you, if you not, even though a lot of you are using animated lower thirds, maybe there's something in this video that can stand out, or you have a question that we can address. And then we definitely want to show you a demo of something that's inside of the editor now that you may not be aware of, maybe not. So we'll get to that here in just a few moments, but let's go ahead and run the video.
All right, enjoy.
Yeah, so animated lower thirds are natively integrated inside of Evmux to allow you to be able to level up the production of your recordings or live stream. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and set up lower thirds. That way you can begin to utilize them inside of your content. So let's go ahead and jump into my Evmux account so I can show you just how easy it is to get this all set up. So once you're inside of your Evmux account, you're going to go to your live stream editor. This is where you're going to manage all of your production. So there are two places where you can utilize lower thirds and where there's different settings for that use. So the first that I'll demonstrate is going to be inside of dynamic scenes. So when you're inside of dynamic scenes, this is where you're going to be able to go ahead and access the lower thirds for dynamic scenes. So you'll come here to the graphics and styling, you'll come to where it says brand settings, and then you'll see here where it'll say lower thirds. You'll see here that when you check it on, you'll get some predefined lower thirds that are here. You'll get the one that you can change between them. And then you have this option where it says custom. This is where you're able to go ahead and click that and get some additional features here. So again, you can go ahead and remove show always. You can have it enabled or disabled if you like. And then you can also change the positioning of where you want this to actually be. Then here you have the option to be able to adjust to where it says delay before start. This determines how long you want it to wait before it actually shows. You want it to hide after a certain amount of time, how often you want it to go ahead and repeat, and then the actual size of the lower third as well. And then you're able to go ahead and change the main color using your brand colors. You can change the secondary color, and then you can decide whether you want it to have the title and whether or not you want it to have the actual logo. Then you also have the option here for change type, and this is going to give you the option to be able to decide on a different kind of layout and structure or animation that you would like to appear and happen there. And then you have the option to select apply all, and this is going to apply all the settings to all of the scenes there. So that's going to be the first way to be able to go ahead and customize your lower thirds, and that's going to be for your dynamics. So if you're ever using dynamic scenes and you want to turn off your lower thirds, you would come here under brand settings and uncheck it, and that would go ahead and remove it for you. Now the second way to go ahead and add lower thirds is going to be utilizing our Pro Scenes feature. So under Pro Scenes, when you select a camera, you can come here and see here that right now I have myself. Once I click on that element, you're going to see that lower thirds is going to pop up here in this menu bar. So you'll simply select lower third, and that's going to bring you to the same menu that you saw. Now here inside of Pro Scenes, the lower thirds is going to be different from the dynamic scene. So when you make the adjustments inside of dynamic scenes, it doesn't apply here to the Pro Scenes unless you select apply all. So here you'll be able to go ahead and again enable it, make the adjustments, move things around, and be able to go ahead and show it always if you like, or change the type. You can see here that inside of our Townhall, I always have it here displaying for us to be able to showcase. So again, when you click on here, you'll see that it pops up after a few seconds, and I'll show you the settings that we utilize for our Townhall so you can kind of get an idea for that. So we typically have it on show always, but when we don't, what we like to do is the delay 5 seconds, hide after 15 seconds, repeat 60 seconds, and size we do 20, and then of course your main color and your logo. It's all going to be personal preference. So that's how you're going to go ahead and add lower thirds. Now you don't have to use the integrated lower thirds that are inside of Evmux. Inside of Pro Scenes, you're able to go ahead and come and add a new layer. You're able to go ahead and add a media file, and you can then go ahead and upload any lower third of your choosing, and then be able to go ahead and customize it and set it up here inside of the platform. But just like that, you can see how easy it is to be able to go ahead and set up lower thirds inside of Evmux to instantly go ahead and level up the production of your content. So you can see there just the flexibility that there is inside of lower thirds and what you can actually create. And like I said, a lot of the people who are here in the town hall today have been utilizing lower thirds since they started using Evmux. So a lot of this stuff, it's not going to be brand new. But at the end of the day, it's still important for us to refresh, because there's always updates that are done to how you navigate it, right? Like there was a video that we did originally back when we first launched on lower thirds, and you can see that the interface has completely changed, right? How you access it, and you can go back and see the progression of Evmux, right? So you can go back to the YouTube channel, click on animated lower thirds. There's a video that was done maybe 5-6 months ago, right? And you can see the UI of Evmux then, right? And how, because of you guys' feedback, because of the things that you tell us, again, super important for you guys to communicate with us, we were able to improve how you access lower thirds, how they're maneuvered, and how they're actually applied. Apply all wasn't even a feature 5 months ago, right? Being able to have a nice kind of pop-up where you're able to maneuver and make changes and make adjustments wasn't really accessible. So again, when you go back and you look at that, you can see how much you guys dictate the improvement of Evmux and the direction that we go when we make these kind of improvements. So it's super important. Albert says, okay, thanks. Please let us know if you need some alpha and beta testers. So we are in the talks of launching a Discord channel that's for affiliates and alpha and beta testers, just to be able to start out with. But it's just something that we need to go ahead and start building out and see how we're going to assign support and how we're going to maneuver inside the Discord channel to make sure that everyone's successful in getting the attention that is required. But with that, a lot, if you're able to share your screen, I would love to be able to go ahead and showcase this. Like I said, maybe some of you have seen this, maybe some of you haven't. But this is a great tool to be able to utilize, that is now available when you are dealing with edit videos or media files. And that is going to be the trimming tool. So this has been updated, improved. AI functionality of it has just been amazing. So this is going to allow you now to be able to trim videos so much more fluid, right? So you can see here now there is a option that says video trimmer, and this is going to allow you to be able to go ahead and create clips of multiple videos. And I'm going to do a whole tutorial on video trimming. It won't come out this Monday, but it'll be out the following Monday, of video trimming and how it actually works and how you can utilize this in so many aspects. And this is something that allows you to now be able to trim certain videos, to create clips. And this is just the start of what the video trimming feature is going to do. There's going to be some new additions to it as well. But again, this is just huge. Okay, when I tell you that the dev team is amazing, like the things that they create and how fast they're able to create them, and how fluid things work. Right? Again, these are things that I get super excited about it because, with being in the live streaming space and trying out different tools, you just don't see this kind of implementation. You don't see this kind of outside forward thinking of just like, how can we make Evmux be your live streaming sweet spot, your tool that you utilize not only to make live content, but recorded content. Like, I'm getting excited. Like, I almost feel like I lose my voice, but it's just like, it's the little things. You've had the availability to kind of trim videos and edit them, right? But it wasn't really fluid. It wasn't really native to the platform of how you actually go about doing it. But now, being able to go ahead and do that, and use that simplicity of it, it opens up the door for so much, right? So I won't tease too much, but at least now you have the availability to trim those kind of videos. We used it today as well. So typically when we do our demo videos, you always get the end part of the YouTube video where I'm recommending you to watch another video, right? You can see here that today that wasn't included. Why? Because it just made it super easy for me to be able to trim it, crop it, stop it exactly where I want. And it just gives you a better experience here on the Townhall because you're not going to be able to click another video to watch it. It doesn't even pop up the other video. So it's not a great experience. So again, it allows us to be able to have that kind of flexibility there. So what are your thoughts, Alad, on kind of just having that feature? Why was that something that we had to improve?
Yeah, so again, coming from feedback of people all the time, we had trimming out of the gate. Like, I don't know if all of you know, but you were able to go to a video in a process and then trim it within Evmux. So you don't need to go to any other third-party tool, and you can just go to Evmux, and you were able to set the timestamps, if I'm not mistaken, which is okay. And we didn't really even know how many people are going to use this feature. So we said, okay, let's start with this and, let's hear feedback. Because if, as a startup with limited resources, you cannot just do everything perfect. You need to do things to work. So it worked, of course. And then you hear the feedback, like what people like, what they didn't like, what is intuitive, what is not intuitive. And we got feedback from people here that, hey, this feature is great, but it's not very intuitive. Like, we need a better UI here. It's not that easy to use. We said, okay, great feedback. Let's improve. And then we improved it to this way that, yeah, I believe that it's a great way to do it right now. Super easy to use, but still, it doesn't mean it's perfect. We would like to hear your feedback. We would like to hear how you utilize that, if it helps, if it's intuitive enough. And if not, you have something to add, something to improve, let us know. It helps. Any feature that is already out there can be changed. Like, it's not the end of story for the feature. So let us know whatever you think. And that's why, again, your feedback drives the roadmap of
Mhm.
the product all the time. So
Right.
take advantage of it. Talk to us. We are here. We want to hear you.
Yeah, and at the same time, you can also utilize the trimming feature in so many other aspects as well. Like, let's say you use Evmux to record content. You record that video. You have it then in your library in your cloud. You're able to download that, re-upload it into Evmux, and then you can trim it and take out the parts where, like, maybe in the beginning there was a black screen, or you were paused for a second. You can trim it, set it up, and then you can just really instantly be able to live stream that to YouTube, or go ahead and hit record and then download the actual fresh copy. I know it's a lot of steps, but again, you can do that, right? And it just opens up another opportunity for you to have the flexibility where it's like, wow, I can do much more than just live stream. Like, Evmux is more than just a live streaming tool, right? Live streaming is a part of what we do. It's kind of our core. But at the end of the day, what we want it to be is that we want to make it easy for you to create content, whether it be recorded or live streams, as easy as possible. But at the same
And
time,
it's
have the customization. Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to add echo what you said, and also say that we see content creators as people doing live
Mhm.
streaming and also recording content sometimes. Like, you do
Right.
this, you do that, you do it together, like we do here, the live streaming and a
Mhm.
video inside the live streaming. So Evmux as a tool has to provide you
Mhm.
the tools you need, the features you need to be able to do
Right.
both. And I think we are getting there, and this is our goal. So anything you think might help, let us know. If it's another feature, if it's a feature that we have that we should do better,
Right.
let us know. We always
Yeah.
want to hear you.
100%. Sad Ram says another game changer for the EVMux dev team. Susan says, oh, this looks good. Can't wait to practice this one. Nice feature. Best team, best dev team ever. 100% agree. And then it says Tiano Time says, I noticed that the black and gold minute counter isn't working. This must be one of the predefined templates inside of
Mm.
EVMux. It goes for about 10 to 15 seconds and then it starts over again. It doesn't do the full minute countdown. Can you fix the minute counter for those that use it like myself? Wonderful.
Yeah,
So yeah,
of
we can
course.
go ahead and take a look at it and see if it's actually, if it's just an isolated or if it's doing it on our side as well. And then if it is, then we can definitely go ahead and make some customizations or adjustment to it for you to be able to utilize it 100%. 100%.
100%. And another, first of all, shout out to Tejano Time, that
Yeah.
he's a great community member, always trying to help us
Mhm.
to grow. And this is how we like it. Like, we like people, sometimes people are, if something is not working as they expect,
Yeah.
or they have something to say, they say it in
Mhm.
kind of a rude way. Like, I'm not blaming them, because it's not that
Yeah.
they know us and they're just trying to use the product and they want it to work. It's fine. But I think that as a human being, you will get better by just trying to give your feedback in a good way, right?
Yep.
Like, give the feedback in the way, like all of you are you're doing it all the time, by just asking and try to help, like, try
Mhm.
to help us to grow, to help us to improve,
Right.
and not to kind of yell at us like, man, I want it to work. Like, of
Right.
course
Yeah.
I will help you anyway, but it makes it so much easier and also so much more efficient and beneficial to
Mhm.
understand what you would like to see and try to work on
Right.
this together. So we appreciate you so
Yeah.
much, all of you, for doing it all the time. And this is the way we're working. Like, also in our
Right.
team, like, if I see something is
Mhm.
not working as I expect, I'm not yelling at the devs like, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on? I'm saying what I saw, and we're trying to
Right.
solve it together, and that's the way to grow
100%.
fast, I think. And this is our attitude all the time.
100%. Yeah. And then also, Albert's in the chat as well. He's also a big contributor to providing recommendations and ways to be able to improve. A lot of the people that we have that tune in every single week have been members since the launch of Evmux, even during the beta. And just seeing it grow is the thing that, once again, people continue to say, like, reason why I continue to stay with Evmux is because you guys listen to us. You guys are very humble. You guys are trying to improve. You're very into the community. And again, it like a lot said, we knew very early on that it was impossible impossible for us to be able to have all the answers, to know what's best, to know, like, we understood the problem that we were trying to solve initially because we were coming from the event space. So we knew that there was a foundation, a baseline of things that were needed, that were a must have. And then we knew that that was the starting point for us, the shell, to say, okay, hey, we've built the foundation of Evmux. Now let's start filling in the rooms. Let's get furniture. Let's get painting. Let's decorate it. Let's add those features that are really needed. And again, we're just getting started, right? So that's been
started.
Right.
That's the most important part here. We are just getting started. We are only what, 8 months old or
10
9 10 already?
10, yeah, like 10 months.
I think for a startup like this, you know, the first 3 years is just learning curve. You're learning all the time. You're listening to your people. You're building. So we are and you know what? It's also very important to enjoy every part. Every part is hard. Every part you have to enjoy it. Otherwise, what are you doing here? And we are really enjoying what we're doing here. Really enjoying to be able to communicate with people all the time and be very active in the community by ourselves. And I hope that we'll keep it that way even when we will be much, much, much bigger. Even now it's a bit hard because we have more than 10,000 users in Evmux, maybe 15,000. It's crazy. But we love it. Like, this is what makes me feel good, and Anthony as well. We're kind of seeing it the same way. Being part of the community, like, it doesn't matter how many users we have. We want to be part of it. So.
Right. And I think that's where we grow at a steady pace, right? But continue to improve. And at the end of the day, like we said, our biggest focus is to make sure that when you log into Evmux, that it just simply works, and that it does what is intended to do for you, which is either record or live stream that content, give you a good experience for you, give a good experience for your guests, right? For your speakers. It just simply needs to just work. And I think that's the biggest focus there. Whereas, like, as long as the platform is able to execute on what it is you need it to be done, then all the features are going to be the best in it, right? So it's just like I said, just like Albert said, just looking for consistency, right? And that's the biggest thing. Know that I can power up Evmux, get logged in, whether it's today, tomorrow, next month, 3 months from now, a year from now, and it's going to perform the way that it's supposed to perform, and I can guarantee, secure that it's going to do that. And again, we got Wesley joining us here. It says, finally made it to a live town hall. We are here live, ready to answer your questions, Wesley. So if you have questions, take advantage of us being here. We're more than happy to address them. So Albert said, FYI, the Evmux logo in the lower right-hand corner of the live stream that we're watching currently right now is present on my MacBook, but not on my iPad Pro. Not sure.
I think it's a YouTube. I read it. I think it's a YouTube thing because when you watch in a computer or I don't know where else, you see the logo of the channel owner, which is Evmux. So the logo is on the bottom right corner. Maybe when you watch
I know
iPad, it's not like that.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So the logo that you're seeing on the bottom right hand side, that's only going to be visible on a desktop or a Mac or a Windows computer, because what that's done, that's not even done inside of Evmux. That's done inside of YouTube platform itself. And that's utilized to where, like, if you click that, it's going to get you to subscribe. And that's kind of what the purpose of that is, right? So yeah, so if you see the logo, click on it, and then once you subscribe, it should disappear. But it's only going to be available on desktop computers or Mac and things of that sort. When you do it on mobile and things of that sort, you typically don't see it. Like for right now, I have the Townhall on my mobile, and that option is not available there to be able to see. But that's on the YouTube side, not on Evmux, and it's there for that. Perfect.
And it gets us to say that we are getting very closer to 1,000 subscribers.
Oh my goodness! Let's clap. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear, but
every clap, I want a new subscriber.
Right, 100%. And
I saw Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
He did like probably all of you saw that, like a live that he's getting to the 100 million
Million. Yeah. Yeah.
subscribers with,
Yeah.
you know, we say in Hebrew 1,000 differences between us and him, but
Yeah.
it feels a little bit the
Right.
same, like.
Yeah. And it's good to see because, you know, really getting to the first 1,000 subscribers on the channel is probably the most challenging, right? And then after that, it gets a little bit easier to kind of go. But again, it's not possible without you guys, right? People joining into Evmux, us creating tutorial content to equip you with the knowledge you need to be able to understand how to utilize the platform. You watching that content, you sharing it with other creators and other people who you are also trying to help use Evmux, things of that sort, is what allows us to be able to grow. So yeah, if you definitely haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, definitely subscribe. Here's a clap for a subscription. And then if you haven't liked the stream yet, definitely go ahead and like it. We have Lewis Jr. TV who just joined us. Welcome, welcome. Albert says, thanks for the knowledge transfer. No problem. That's what we're here for. Susan says, clap, subscribe. We're there. Susan's been with us for quite some time. And one of the things that we've been kind of enjoying is seeing people create content around Evmux in other languages as well. I think that's been super powerful to be able to open up what Evmux can do, and creators like just taking the bulls by the horn and just saying, you know what, I'm going to make this tutorial, I'm going to make this content because I really enjoy the platform. And it's all natively, which is amazing because that means that you genuinely are enjoying the platform and you want to share it with other people. It's like going to the movie theaters and watching a movie and the movie was so good that you go and share it with somebody. It's like going to a restaurant and enjoying the food and somebody's like, oh, I want to go eat somewhere. Oh, go check out this restaurant. That restaurant's not paying you. They're not endorsing you. You're not getting anything from it. But we do have something you can get from it, right? Which is our affiliate program, right? So every time that you want to go ahead and recommend Evmux to people, it's great that you want to do it from the bottom of your heart, but we want to compensate you for that, right? So if you haven't joined our affiliate program yet, in the description of the YouTube channel of the video, you're going to see a link to join the affiliate program, right? It's an amazing affiliate program. You simply get your special link. You're going to get 30% commission all the way every single month for the first year that person is a part of Evmux. Or if they join annually, you're going to get 30% from the annually subscription. So again, we love it that you're educating people and want to create those content. We're seeing it pop up all the time, right? You go to YouTube, type Evmux. It's not just me no more, right? You just don't see my face on there no more. You see other creators taking and teaching other people to be able to showcase that. Lewis has a question here. A lot. It says, is Evmux on mobile?
All right, so let's divide to two roles in Evmux, right? You can be a producer and you can be a guest, okay? So as a producer, for now, you can do it only using desktop, so PC, Mac, whatever, but it's a computer. As a guest, though, you can join from whatever. It can be desktop, computer, Mac, iPhone, iPad, Android. Everything is supported, shouldn't be a problem. If you face a problem, let us know, but it should be smooth for any device as a guest.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the beautiful thing of it. You know, the same thing is like when you're on the computer, when you look at what the producer side looks like, you know, it's a lot of pieces moving on that is kind of very difficult to compact and make it functional when you're utilizing on a mobile, right? Because you have multiple elements to be able to drag around, to crop, to have things pop up. So creating a mobile interface that's functional, it's a lot more challenging than actually giving a guest experience, because of a guest and a speaker, you're just using your camera and your microphone, right? There's no complexity. You're not having to move things around, make sure you're maneuvering chat, clicking the buttons, right? It's a little bit different there. So again, it is something that we've discussed and things that have been said where, hey, people want to live stream from their mobile and manage everything from their mobile. And that's the way that the world's moving, where everything can be done from your home. But 100% you're able to join as a guest and a speaker from your mobile and be able to utilize that, right? Some people utilize it even as a second camera because they invite their guest, their phone as a guest, and then you have that second camera to have a second angle, right? So again, it's not just about inviting guests to come in, but it's thinking outside the box and utilizing it. Darius, I don't know if he's around currently right now. He's someone who has taken the Evmux platform and expanded it out and allowed no restrictions to occur, right? Because maybe the feature is not natively integrated into Evmux, but it doesn't mean that you can't actually get that feature done, right? There may be some workarounds to be able to get it done, but the flexibility and ProScenes allows you to be able to do that. And Darius has found ways to be able to remote produce churches, to create, multiple camera angles using one camera. There's just so many things that he's been able to create just by thinking a little bit differently and understanding the foundations of what Evmux does, right? I think that's the biggest thing.
I have an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just got me an idea.
All right, let's go.
I think we need to have a show, weekly show, not weekly, maybe not weekly. Depends on Darius. We can call it Evmux Hacks by Darius.
Evmux Hacks by Darius. Where's he at?
He has so many. He has so many.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
When do like a 5-minute segment here brought to you this week, Darius Hack, Evmux Hacks coming to you live. Boom. And then Darius, look, hey, love the challenges, man. He says, I love it. Don't forget to use my affiliate line. There you go, Lewis. Exactly. And I think it's super. He's like, I'm here for you. All right, look, let's do it, man. You could create a video and we'll do it. We'll make it a segment in the town hall, right? So let's say you figure out some hacks, you record a quick little video, and like just how we do the demo, you can say, okay, hey, this segment, hey, right? It could be towards the end of the show, towards the middle, and we'll say, okay, hey, here's Darius' hack of the day. And then boom, we show that video, a quick little hack of how, I think that if you haven't yet been inside the Facebook group, right? Darius posts pictures all the time and shares stories of what he's doing for other churches, for things that he's doing himself, even showing him setup. I think the last time that I talked to him, when we unlocked the Stream Deck, the hotkey feature, he showed me, he's like, I got my tablet here with this, I got my Stream Deck, I got my iPhone, and like everything is utilizing every feature in there. And it's just like, again, the flexibility of it. So we got Peter who just joined us. He said, hi, I like your app. Great work. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here. If you have any questions, Peter, feel free to ask us. We're here for a little bit longer to be able to address that. But that would be a great segment to add, or even a little standalone show where we show all the little workarounds and hacks that you're able to do inside of Evmux. But from a creator perspective, I think that right there would be pretty huge. So,
and I also agree. Sorry to stop you a lot today.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's good.
I just want to say shout out to all those creators creating content on Evmux. It really makes us so excited to see that. We don't take it for granted. It's amazing to see people, as you said, like just creating content on Evmux without that we gave them any specific incentive. We didn't talk to them. They just really wanted to recommend others on Evmux, and seeing it in different languages, it's wow. Like to see Udo as an example that this week did it in German. It's crazy. It's just crazy to see that, and people, really investing time on it. And time is maybe our most valuable resource, right, of human beings. And seeing people investing this time of making this, it's amazing. And thank you for doing that. And we hope to see more and more coming.
Yeah, 100%. And so we got here a question. Wesley said, thanks for all the instructional videos. 100%. That's what we're here for. A lot of the tutorials and videos that come about on the channel are because of the questions that are being asked. So again, it's super important. Share feedback. If you have questions, if things are not clear, or you want to learn how to do something inside of Evmux, share it here in the town hall, share it inside of the Facebook group. And that's typically how videos are created for us. So Lewis Jr. TV says, can you do reaction videos also? So 100%, right? So you can come inside of Evmux, share your screen, and watch videos that you then kind of react to, right? You can do that live using our live streaming feature, or you can record that and then upload it as a video to YouTube, right? So you can do all of that directly inside of Evmux. And then if you're on our pro plan, you get access to a feature called ISO recording, right? Which is local recording, which allows you to be able to record your camera and record the share screen, get those additional files individually. That way, if you do want to then edit them later in an editing software to like make it a little bit cleaner for like YouTube, you can do that. Or you can just have the full show that you're able to utilize. But 100%, we have people that utilize Evmux to do reaction videos now because it's a tool, right? Evmux is a tool to allow you to create content. So whatever content you want to create, you can do that inside of Evmux because we give you a lot of tools to be able to utilize. Anything you want to add, Alon?
Couldn't agree more. We see a lot of people doing that, and I think reaction videos is a very. I like to watch that sometimes. It depends on what, of course, but me specifically, I like sports. So to see kind of watching something and talk about it, and in the meantime getting engaged with the people watching you, I love that. I think it's a great niche.
Yeah, 100%. Peter asked a question here. He says, what about NDI and virtual cameras? Any integrations in your plan? And then Albert stepped in and answered, said, yes, NDI does work with Evmux on both desktop and mobile versions of NDI. So really quick there, Albert stepping in again. Definitely we gotta have Albert on the show one time. To bring him on, because I think it's super important. I think he can bring a lot of insight and a lot of knowledge. He's definitely always in looking at Evmux, looking at ways to be able to improve, looking at ways to be able to have an opening. It's almost similar to like kind of like the experience of Darius, right? They're both always in the platform, trying to break it or figure out ways to expand it, right? And I think that's why we're able to grow. So that's super important. Anything you want to add to the NDI and virtual cameras?
Yeah, so virtual camera specifically, I don't think there is any specific integration needed, because the way virtual cameras work, and again, maybe you asked something else and I didn't get it, it's just kind of another camera in your computer, right? So in Evmux, when you are going to the settings of each guest or for you as a host, you can select the camera. So then you will see one of the cameras will be your virtual camera. So you can just select it.
Yeah, 100%.
That's basically it. So.
Yeah, 100%. And I can kind of showcase, like if I were to switch over to a virtual camera like the Snap Cam, you can see here that it'll pop up, and that's just a click of an input for you to be able to switch between those two cameras in there inside of Evmux. So another question here from Mark Relaxing Music. Welcome to the Townhall. It says, how does upload speed affect Evmux? If my upload speed is slow, like 2 to 3 megabytes, how will that be on my live stream?
Amazing, great question. And I think this is really showing the power of a web-based platform, which is the live streaming itself not being done by your internet connection. It's not relying on it. Why your internet connection is important? For basically two things, right? To be able to show your camera if you would like to be on the stage, but that's kind of, it's not the full live streaming on your internet. As long as you can conduct a Google Meet or a Zoom meeting with your internet, then no problem for you to be able to conduct a live streaming in Evmux, because that's basically what Evmux consumes from you, which is your video camera feed, okay? On top of that, it's basically your download, okay? Because we are downloading for your computer the studio, so you will be able to move scenes around and things like that. And if you have guests, you would like to consume their video, but Evmux is smart enough to let you consume only the low resolution of their videos and not the highest resolution. The highest resolution goes to the server because the server is strong enough. But your computer, we try to limit the resources we need from your computer. So you download the video feeds from them, and that's basically it. So I don't see, as long as, let's put aside numbers, 2 megabytes or 3 megabytes, as long as you can conduct a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet successfully, I don't see why you will have any issues in Evmux.
Right. Yeah. And again, we have a free plan that you're able to go ahead and create an account to get in there and even run a test, right? There's no commitment to signing up to a paid plan. So again, The best way is that we can give you recommendation, but the best way to test it is just get in the platform, go live to an unlisted YouTube channel or a private channel, live stream, and see what that experience actually looks like for you. And then otherwise you can just let us know, right? So it says my download is okay, about 100 megabytes. Thanks, that's great. I would definitely have to try it out. I have no problem doing Zoom calls. Perfect then. So just like Alad said, you should have a great experience inside of Evmux as well. But testing is
I'll
always
also recommend you make sure, because your internet is very limited, two things I'll give you just tips from me. Try to reboot your computer before you start, so your computer from the resources standpoint will be clean. And also make sure you close any updates on the computer. In Windows, sometimes you have in the background updates running. Make sure the updates are not running. Make sure you don't have any other unnecessary softwares available. And also, if you have other TVs in the house and stuff like that, and your phone, make sure anything not running on the same connection at the same time, just to make sure that all the 2-3 megabytes are dedicated to your camera feed. Again, just to try to keep it as stable and as fast as possible.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And try not to be on Wi-Fi if possible as well. Try to be direct connect if you possibly can. So yeah, that was great tips though. That helps a lot. Mark in the house, welcome. He said ISO recording is amazing. Darius and Albert are going to get together. Okay, might have to have both of you on the show. All right, and then David in the house, welcome. And he says, is there a way to filter out comments? Now I know David, he wants this so bad, and I know that, you know, and we're good. Trust me, we take note of the things that you guys want, and we understand the importance of being able to, like you said, you put a queue, we're able to put it inside the chat and able to go ahead and filter out all the queue questions, especially like, you know, we talked about this on not last town hall, but the prior town hall of, like, you know, us having a smaller kind of audience or community watching us. It's a little bit easier to manage the questions, but once you start getting to having like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or more people watching you, it can become a little bit more challenging to keep up with the questions. So we understand the importance of wanting that feature added there for sure. Anything to add?
And the thing is that it's, for us, when we look at this feature, we try to look it more holistically, and it's not only filter for queue. It's like we think about it in more depth, and again, very, very open to hear thoughts from anyone here. But we think about it's not only filtering, it's do pins and to do different stuff. I won't share everything now, but feel free to give us comments and feedback. What do you want to see? Let's think about it as the whole comments section should get an upgrade. For now, you just get the comments and you can highlight comments. Great, it's good, right? But it can be much, much better with a lot of different stuff, like comments that coming in from super users can be highlighted automatically, or, you know, a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, super chats.
Even involving AI. A lot of ideas, so feel free to share ideas here. This whole section should be improved, but yeah, we have other stuff coming before, so it's not in the first priority for now.
Yeah, but it definitely is something that is on the list for sure. Because it's been asked for quite frequently, not just from you only, David. And then it says, Mark says, I've signed up for the free plan, but never have live stream before. So yeah, just give it a go. Connect your YouTube, your Facebook, your Twitch, your LinkedIn, go unlisted or go private, and give it a go and see how it works. Albert says, a lot, Anthony, external cameras also work with Camo on both Android and iPhone as a tethered device. Yeah, that's also a good app. It's very inexpensive. I think it's like maybe 40 or like $50 for the year. I think it's or like $4 a month, something like that. Very inexpensive, that can turn your phone into a webcam, which also works. And it's so that's also good as well. Tethered device, you know, you plug it into the computer. And then it gives you access to the camera. So that's also an option as well. David says, another quick question. How many people can you have in the green room?
Right. So you can have all in all 12 people. Okay, basically. So 12 people, including you, including other collaborators. So let's just 12 faces in the green room. Okay, and all of them can also be on stage. So you're not limited on, like, all the 12 can be on stage, 12 people. This is the limitation for now. With that said, if there, I think it's a lot, right? But if there is
Yeah.
someone that would like to have more, talk to us. We'll talk about a bespoke package. It is possible technically. We decided for now in our pricing to limit it to 12 because we just think it's enough in most of the cases. So just let us know.
Yeah, perfect. So it says, Mark relaxes says, yeah, clean my stream as much as possible. Perfect. Susan said that's exactly what I did. Direct connect to my internet. My Ethernet is 100%. You're going to have the best connection that way. And then Ahmed, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the town hall. It says, sorry if this has been answered. Any plans to integrate with tools such as Pabbly, Connect, Zapier, or Make?
I'm not familiar.
So,
Zapier, I know.
Yeah, so Zapier is going to be simpler like that. So I guess the question, Ahmed, it would be to just go ahead and kind of give us an idea whether it's sending us an email to info@evmux.com or coming into the Facebook group and asking us. Let us know what your intentions are. What are you trying to accomplish? And then we can kind of work on ways to say, okay, hey, this can be done, or hey, we do need an integration. How do we work around that? To be able to do that, but like I said, there are going to be flexibilities to use web sources and browser sources to be able to integrate other third-party applications into Evmux to be able to utilize it. So anything to add there?
No, yeah, web sources, which is a feature we're working on it. It's going to
Perfect.
solve a lot of those integration needs, basically, because then
Yeah.
you'll be, again, we try to make it unlimited for you. Sometimes it will require more than one click, maybe
Right.
2 clicks, but it will be possible.
Right.
So web sources are going to make a lot of stuff that now might be limited. A lot of stuff will be possible in a way. And then real integration with specific apps, it will be like the next step.
Yeah, I'm super excited for web sources because it's going to allow for, especially for live streams, to have animated alerts, super chat animations. It opens up a whole nother door, right? For you to be able to use web sources, music, countdown time. It just opens up a lot of doors. So really, really excited about that. We have live production tips and tools who join us. That's Samuel. Welcome, brother. Says, what's up, a lot? And Anthony, Evmux is changing the game. Good job, guys. Look, we're trying to do our best. And again, with you guys' help is what makes this all possible. So thank you again for tuning in. Samuel's channel, he does a lot of content around live streaming gear and just tools that you need. Definitely check him out if you're deciding on, what to use to stream: cameras, microphones, gear, lighting. He'll get you all squared away. So says Ahmed says, we'll send an email. Albert says there's a free version of Cameo. I go back and forth between NDI, webcam, and Camo. The Camo version has a logo that you have to deal with or ignore. So 100%. So if you don't want to use your computer camera, right, there's an app that you can download on your phone called Camo that you're able to go ahead and turn your phone into a webcam that you just plug into your computer. So you have better quality that way. So that's super cool. In the Basement says, how long before stream elements for new subs and such to be added? Again, that's going to be the web sources.
Web sources, yeah. How long? It's the hardest question. I don't want to commit because our devs, anyway, they don't sleep. So
they don't sleep.
I can tell you, we do
story.
the best we can to. This feature is high priority for sure.
Yeah, true story. David says, is there a way to have people in the system like Zoom?
Yeah, so I guess you mean like having Evmux as a platform so people will watch inside Evmux. This is something we're being asked. It will require higher tier of packages. For now, we have that only for enterprise clients. So we do have that, but only for enterprise because it's not very cheap, right? It means we need to deliver the streaming. So if it's something you need and you think that you are considered as enterprise in terms of the pricing and you can afford it, please reach out to us. We can talk and see how we can help you. So we have that, but it's not kind of native feature that is available even for the Pro plan because the costs here are not $50 a month, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but it's available. But you can have people up to 12 people in the platform, like Zoom, where you're just sitting there, not going live, just having a conversation.
They can. Yeah. You can have 12 people in the backstage.
In the backstage, right.
Like Anthony and I are talking in the back in Evmux now. Theoretically, we can have 10 more people just sitting in the speaker room, not on stage
Just
listening
having
to us.
conversations. Right.
Yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
And they can
100%.
talk to each other meanwhile. Yeah.
And then says Albert says, good question. That was a good question. Wesley says, if you have a Samsung, you can use Flow to connect your camera. 100%. There you go, man. The audience today is just full of tips. And again, more than ever now lately, we're saying these phones camera are getting better and better and better. And you forget this is $1,000 device in your hand, right? And camera. So it's just like being able to utilize that. At the end of the day, your audio is more important than your video. But again, having those flexibility to be able to take your anything better than your computer camera. Okay, anything is better than your computer camera 100%. But there you go. There's options there to be able to utilize. It's just been great. Again, I just can't stress enough how important it is to have a community, how important it is to have different brains, different way of thinking, right? Here we have Albert sharing an app that's utilized for iPhone and Android. Here we have Wesley saying, hey, this is what you can use for Samsung, right? This is how you have. So there's just so much recommendations because we all operate a little bit differently. We all do things a little bit differently, and it's just a lot different. So Lockhart tuned in. This is going to be the final question that we'll go ahead and take in. Again, if we don't get to your question, join us inside the Facebook group, answer your questions there. That community is growing. I think we're about to hit 600 members, and it's just growing every single day. So here from Lockheed, it says, can we use GIFs or GIFs, however you say it, as overlays, like animated overlays?
Yes, we're going to add that very, very soon. It's funny, but the reason it wasn't there because we just didn't allow it, and not a lot of people asked for it. And then we heard in the chat some people asking for it. Also you, I think it was you, Lockheed. I said to the devs, like, why we're not putting it in? And they said, we can. So it's coming up in the next production update. Another way to show you that listening to you helps, because sometimes it's not even a development really needed here. It's just paying attention to details, and you help us sometimes. So thank you. It's coming up next week probably.
Perfect. Super excited for that. So again, if you've enjoyed the town hall, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, help us reach that first 1,000 subscribers. It's a huge milestone for us to just get started, just where we've come from the beginning. But again, if we didn't get to your question, join us inside the Facebook group. If it's your first time, we do these town halls every single week at 1 p.m. Eastern time, where we talk about anything related to Evmux. Today, we talked about animated lower thirds and how you utilize them. We even showcased a trimming tool that's now available inside of Evmux as well, for you to be able to utilize. So catch the replay if you haven't. But with that being said, anything final that you want to say, Elad?
I love you all, guys. Really, really thank you for joining us week after week, and seeing also new faces and getting the conversation like that. This is how we like doing things, and seeing that we could make it happen in the way that we wanted it to be. It's so exciting, and thank you. I really appreciate all of you, and let's keep the conversation going in the Facebook group and in the next town halls, and grow together. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. And Lotus joined us at the last minute. Welcome. Super happy to see you. Lotus Blossom Foundation for Spiritual Oneness. Love it. Susan says another great informative live stream. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in, for spending your most valuable asset, which is your time, and you spent it here with us here today. So again, it's always been an amazing journey. What do we always say, Elad?
That we'll see you all in the next one.
I love it. All right. Bye-bye. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, I'm live. That was easy.